states to adopt Common Core standards as opposed to mandating it. They tied it to states' eligibility to compete for dollars, and I think achieved beyond what many thought they could achieve by taking that approach. But it's an interesting approach that could yield, I think, if we expanded the discussion to common inputs, it could yield other states. Yes, the economy's tough. Yes, times are tough for state and local budgets. I always think that it is always important to remember that we're not just planning for next year, we're planning for tomorrow, which is a decade from now, 2 decades from now, 2050, if you will.
Let me turn to another question from the tweets that keep coming in. And it goes to what steps pragmatically could states take to actually implement Common Core state standards? So what are the concrete steps for implementation at the state level?
Well, the first thing that most states are doing, and again, there's a wide discrepancy here because with 50 sets of standards, but the first thing that they've been doing is they've been doing a crosswalk between their existing standards and the Common Core to see the compatibility of those two documents, what teachers are used to, so that they don't want to throw everything out, and there is a match. Then once they do that, then they have to look at where are the areas of need in their particular state or district for professional development. And this is really about as far as I've seen most states get to right now. They're also looking at their assessment programs because we're going to be transitioning to a new assessment with the 2 new assessment consortia, and which one do they belong to, and what kind of assessments are going to be happening. Are there going to be project-based assessments? So I really think that right now I would say there is no, you could not say, you know, get a scorecard and say this state's here, this state's here. States have done different things, also depending on whether they got Race to the Top funds or what their financial situation is. Depends on where they are. And some states, basically at the state level, do not have, they have 1 or 2 people. I mean, it's not like there's a bureaucracy sitting at the state capitol in many states for these plans.
And what about getting, because this came over a Twitter question, states who have not adopted to adopt? What are successful models, if any, to encourage adoption among the reluctant?
Let me take a stab at that. Since I live in a state that is not yet adopted,